Hello, food tech enthusiasts. Are we excited to be here after such a long time from an in-person event? Really happy to see you here. Can I ask everybody from the other room to gather around, join us? We'll be starting with the transmission in a second, and I hope to have everybody with us. How are you feeling today? Huh? 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 I know that the vodka machine is not serving the alcohol. All right, hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know us, this is Grabo, and I'm Misha, and we are the founders of foodtechAC. foodtechAC is a startup accelerator slash 2B VC fund which combines food and tech to solve the whole world. We're here because we love the business of food. A couple of years ago, me and Piotr realized that we're not quite satisfied with the way things are, and I would have to click. Yeah, so we realized that we are not quite satisfied with the way things operate at this point, because we saw that people are eating crappy food and that the planet is being destroyed in the process. So not only do we eat unhealthy things that stuff our arthritis and do bad things to our health, but also the packaging that's left after the food, the cows that we raise, they all damage our planet. So we decided to change the way things are, and we saw that the change is needed, and one of the ways to lead that change is to take technology and utilize it to change our food. And while I speak about food, that's quite obvious. I mean, food is food, right? But people often ask us, what kind of technology do you want to utilize to change the way things are? And today you will see some of those technologies. I mean, you will see robots doing food. You will see great recipes of plant-based stuff. In this particular example, meat, which is fortified with vitamins, so it's really healthy for us. You will see guys who are making, utilizing unsold bread and making very, very good product out of it. I think some of you already might have tried the bread booth. And of course, there's IT technologies such as Eric's Legumi. So there's a lot of these technologies we can use in order to help our environment. And I know you guys over here want to be the part of the change. And from the research we saw, we read that more than 70% of people in our age are willing to even take a pay cut in order to work in a sustainable company. So this is huge. I mean, we're all here, we're ready to make the change. There is just one tiny problem. The big business will not administer the change unless they see the big money in it. They need a nudge. They need this monetary incentive to administer the change we're talking about. Sorry. So again, this is when we realized that there's a problem, that we all want to make the change, but unless the big business invests a lot of money into sustainable businesses, this change won't happen. Fortunately, after we dug through a lot of data, we found out that small impact, and by small I mean the ones smaller than $100 million, small VC funds outperform, that is, they perform better than their agnostic peers, which means that hopefully now investors will see, and this accelerated in the last couple of years, now the investors will see that it's not only tree hugging and being green for, for the sake of the planet, which is good, but it's also actually brings a lot more money than, maybe not a lot, but more money than the regular VC funds. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. How do we took this insight and we matched it with the needs of the market in our region. Since we both are experienced entrepreneurs in food and tech, we decided to combine those two things and run a food tech accelerator. That means we teach startups how to do sustainable business. At the same time, we share our knowledge with the VC funds so that they can invest in impactful businesses. So not only they, again, invest in startups that change the world, but also they can get extraordinary returns from their investments. It may surprise you that there is no such entity in Central Eastern Europe. Having said that, I mean that there is no blueprint for success. There was no blueprint for success in terms of running a successful startup accelerator in the food tech area. So what we did with Piotr, we gathered all those people you can see over here and a lot more, among other Richard, which is one of our greatest mentors over there. I don't know if there's Kuba, there's Michał, there's so many, there's another Michał, so many Michałs we have. I'm Michał. So we've got so many great things, and we pulled them not only from Poland but also from abroad. There are guys from Thailand, and we learn how to do. We learn from them how to run a successful startup accelerator. We learn from VCs, from the best ones in Europe and abroad, and I think we tweaked, we changed our program, and we managed to run 4 successful batches of the acceleration. And now it's Piotr's.
So, food industry, one of the biggest industry in the world, and it may be surprising, but there is not that much R&D in that industry, and that's changing globally. And we want to accelerate that change here in CE. And even despite the pandemics, within the last 30 months, we've built an enormous community network, business network of supporters of growing that business. Currently, we've talked to over 300 startups here in Poland and in CE region, but also abroad. Mentioned, we've been to Thailand, Berlin, London, we traveled around the world. Also, 80 engaged mentors who are currently leading our acceleration program, over 100 food producers, over 100 investors who are currently looking eagerly to invest in our projects here in Poland, but also we established a few relations abroad. But the most important, 20 accelerated startups, yes? That took us a little more than 2 years, but that is just the beginning. It's not only the startups, it's also the community, the awareness of food tech industry, of plant-based change among regular consumers. This is my friend Ola posting on our Food Tech Community Poland group. If you're not a member yet, please join. We'll accept everyone who's directly in our network. And we try to post some discussions every week, basically every day sometimes. There are new posts where we discuss, is that plant-based change, is that sustainable change good or not? We are posting sometimes kind of like provocative publications to discuss and to force that discussion. And what's nice, currently this plant-based market, this sustainable market, it's not something which is just in our heads, in the heads of investors, but also of regular customers. Just go to any major retail store, you've got this, plant-based section. So plant-based, which was a kind of mystery 3 or 4 years ago, now is a new normal. And also, we would like to talk some numbers. So let's start from those numbers which are closest to our hearts, so the sustainability numbers. So for example, our kurczak already saved over 100 tons of CO2 emission as compared to regular chicken productions. And the other numbers go with other startups, and there'll be more of them. But they are not only environmental numbers, there are also business numbers, yes? So 15 out of 20 of our accelerated startups are up and running here on the market. The value of our portfolio since we started foodtechAC has already grown 10 times, and it's just the beginning. So just give you a few examples. We've just closed the second investment round for meatiest, which is vertical farming startup here in Poland. And we'll be growing to the next city. We'll be growing to new products. The farm of meatiest is located here in Mokotów area, so directly in Warsaw Mordor. It's a great example of cooperation between us, Accelerator, and the VC fund. It's been plant-based yogurts. We raised 3 million zlotys for that startup, and we are currently closing 1 million Polish zloty round for My Egg, which is a plant-based egg alternative. So these are investment rounds we led. Basically, we spent with Michał and with our friends, our lawyers, basically hours of calls during last 6 months. That's why we're pretty tired today also, because we've been closing the meatiest around last week, but it's happening. And even when we are not that much involved, but also our startups raise the money on their own. That's an example of kurczak, for example, 1 million Polish zloty, Roche Eco 600k Polish zloty, and Vertigo Farms 300k Polish zlotys. So there are money, there are investments, and those projects will be growing soon. You may think that, oh my God, that's number are not that big, because in US they currently raise billions of dollars for such a startups, but it's just the beginning. Remember, we are talking industry which was not present in CE region 3 or 4 years ago. There were no investors in that area. We were the ones to show investors here in Poland that there is a potential to make the first investments with them. And if that's just the beginning, is that what we achieved in only 2-3 years? What's going to happen in next 2 to 3 years? Let's imagine. One more challenge for those who are from media. So actually, what's happening? I've counted yesterday that we had already 99 unique publications about our accelerator and startups from our acceleration program. So if there is among us some journalist who would like to cover us for 100th time, that's the time to do it.
So if you do write about us at this point, you will be the 100th anniversary publication about foodtechAC. So you can see that we've created this, we found a market niche, and we have created this unique situation when startups come to us and ask us for advice, help them to find a proper investor. At the same time, investors come to us and ask for advice about startups. And this creates sometimes a funny situation, because let's say a company A is a competitor of our portfolio company and doesn't want to go directly to us to find financing, because they don't want to show their numbers, they don't want to show their market strategy. So they skip us and they go directly to Fund X. And usually the Fund X, since there are literally little to no people in the market who have expertise such as ours, usually the fund goes back to us and asks if those numbers and this market strategy and this business agenda sticks. So if you're a startup and you're afraid to come to us, don't be, because probably you will receive your pitch deck at the very end. What we like to do is we believe that the competition is very good for the whole market. We believe that raising tide brings up all the ships. So we too care that even startups out of our portfolio grow, and we want to help the whole market. So please don't be afraid to come to us. We'll try and help you out in any other possible way. So you can see we're working. It kind of plays out pretty well for us. We keep growing, and our mission kind of pays off, But we're not only we want to believe that we're only at the beginning. So you can see that the market of food tech is growing, and up till this year there haven't really been a lot of numbers regarding Polish food tech market, since it's very, very new. But you can see that it's outgrowing the world average. And I'm not saying this because we want to settle in Polish market. As we told you, we want to focus on collecting startups from the whole CE, and this is what we did with this batch. But we also want to treat Poland as a start, and we want to push our startups out to the EU. But then again, this is a great domestic market to start with, as you can see. So the market is great, but why foodtechAC? Why should we be the one to succeed? First and foremost, we believe in our mission, and we seek out founders. You will meet those guys today, and you will hear that they have great passion about sustainability, they have great passion about their products. So that's number one. We believe that founders with mission work harder and longer than everybody else, and they will succeed. I mean, statistics say so, so we believe numbers greatly. Consumers see it too. Consumers want sustainable brand, sustainable product. They can see right through the greenwashing of the big corporations. So they're not tricked anymore into, and I'm not going to say the brand names because I don't want to piss anybody off. We look heavily at the numbers, as I said. So we analyze the data. We tell the startups to get out there in the market, get the feedback, look at the market statistics, and kind of try and forecast what's going to happen in the market. So that's our thing. We're numbers guys. We graduated from Warsaw School of Economics. I don't know, it doesn't say much to, because there's a lot of people graduated, but we really do love statistics. So, and again, investors pick up on the trend. They can see slowly and steadily. You saw these small investments that we closed. They can see that this trend is something viable. It's going to grow in the future, and it's not only the financial institutional guys. It's also, we have a lot of friends in our circle who exited from their big businesses and want to step up and do their next business endeavor in something meaningful. And having said that, they want to go in sustainability and impact business. And last but not least, we are pushed by the governments who follow. You can see that EU imposes regulations which are trying to foster this change. So they're trying to push out the single-use plastic. They're trying to deregulate the lobbied meat and dairy industry so that we can move more freely in the meat and dairy alternatives. That's that.
So the time has come for us that what we learned during last 30 months, it's that there will be new ideas, there will be new founders, amazing founders, more and more experienced people come to us. Currently there are not only first-time founders, people who are like making their first steps in the business, but also people who have some experience in the previous businesses and would like to build something in that new food area. Yes. So together with a flow of ideas out from our network, from the founders, from universities, also with the expertise of our mentors, we decided that we need to grow faster, that we need actually to bring more opportunities to our startups, because we are competing on the global market. Me and Misha, we decided that we don't want to leave Poland, that we actually would like to build something in here. Yes, of course, there are much more opportunities, and there is much greater access to capital in US or, for example, in Germany. We see it, but we believe that we can build it here. And to accelerate that growth and fit that time frame, basically, because the time is now. Really, the time is now because we are in the moment when the competition on that plant-based market is not, and plant-based sustainability market, on eco-packaging market is not that high yet. There are Western players coming to Poland, but we have a lot of Polish food companies who succeeded in the past, and we would like new Polish food businesses to succeed here. And to fit that timing of awareness of between consumers and also the need from the consumers, to accelerate, we basically need a capital, a quick, flexible access to capital, which help us build great unicorns in that agri-food tech area. So that's why, as we told you in winter on the demo day, we are fundraising our own VC fund, which will help us to invest in our startups quicker, to skip that phase of 6 to 12 months fundraising, of sitting on very long calls, negotiating deals. We would like to be the people who invest in people. Of course, numbers are important, but if we see there is a great team, there is great opportunity, we would like to be able to invest in 1 to 3 months, not very long process of 6, 12 months. That's why we are raising the fund. The goal of the fund will be investing in agri-food startups here in CE. We took last 6 months a lot of Excels, a lot of financial reviews, a lot of reports, a lot of looking at other VC funds in the food tech area from France, from Scandinavia, from Benelux, from Germany, to see what should we set up here in Poland. And we already know we want the fund to be fully operational until the end of 2022. So it's almost only 70 months left. There is a lot of, for us, a lot of formalities, a lot of fundraising. We'll be fundraising from, we are now talking to few big food players on the market here in Europe to be on our anchor investor. So the big investor who entered the fund and will give us not only money, but also, for example, distribution network for our startups here in Europe, in CE region. But we also will be fundraising from regular, like individual investors. The minimal ticket will be probably 250k euro. So please, guys, if you're interested, start collecting your money now.
So as Piotr said, we did the financials, we did the strategy of the fund, and hopefully soon we'll start reaching out to LPs. If you're here, we'll probably reach out to you soon. So yeah, if you do know any anchor investors, because we still haven't finalized anything yet, do let us know. We'll be glad to talk to a big food producer, distributor. Those are the guys that we're looking for. So if I could leave you with one thought, I would like to come back to the thing I said at the beginning, and that is consumers nowadays really value sustainability over money. And this is the way the market is going to shift toward. And so that means if you want to stay on top of the business game, we need to build sustainable startups. So not only for the planet, but also for the business. We need to build truly sustainable business startups. And we need to invest in truly impactful businesses. So my dear friend and mentor, who's right here in this room, once told me that me and Piotr, we are catalysts for the food tech business in Poland, meaning that we speed up the change. And if I could ask you to be one thing today, that would be try and be like us, not only capitalists, but also the catalysts. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. It's really important that foodtech family is constantly growing. It's actually the biggest foodtech meeting in, I don't know, like 13 months, 14 months?
Really happy to be here in person.
That's great you're here.
Plus the internet guys. So shout out to the ones that are online. We don't know how many they are at this point. I do want to remind you that you can ask questions online via.
Yeah, but today is mostly not about us, but about the 4 amazing teams we have accelerating during last 4 months. So do not make it any longer. Please welcome on stage ReBread.
Woohoo!
Okay, we all waste bread. Where does this bread go? Do you care? we care in ReBread, and we turn it into crafted vodka from bread. Crafted vodka, but in the same time, we also fight for good. Because 5 million tons of bread are wasted annually, 184 loaves trashed every second, and because we have our own artisan bakery and restaurant, we all know that there is a really huge problem with managing unsold bread. Crafted vodka market, we can compare to crafted beer market in 2019 when it comes to sales. It's really rising, but there is still space to succeed, especially when it comes to organic, bio, strong alcohols. Evidence, success case, Tito's Organic handmade vodka from US, who beats the Smirnoff in sales in 2019. And also, we can say that this is one of the top organic popular vodka in the world. But let's get back to the bread. When it comes to unsold bread, it's a really big problem for bakeries and retailers. And now, in ReBread, we try to move the food process on the stage that we don't waste the bread, but we come back with the bread to the process of making the new product from that. Because now unsold bread, it's in biogas, it can be also wasted in animal food or utilized. When it comes to the process in ReBread, we try to reveal bakeries and stores when it comes to the problem of unsold bread. How do we do that? We collect the bread, then we cut it into the slices. Everything is in biologically and legally safe process. Then we grind, store, and put it in distillation. And then we turn it into this bottle. This bottle full of taste, full of delicious taste. I can say already that it's delicious. 1 week ago, we collect 550 bottles. This Okowita from bread. What are our goals? The first year goal, it's building a community around the idea and acquire funds from crowdfunding campaign. The main goal for the next 3 years, it's being top 3 in awareness in crafted vodka market and top 7 in sales. The second year goal, which will bring us to the main goal, will be 30,000 bottles of spirit and also partnership with large stores and sales networks. But in the third year, there is a really big thing, because we would have, I hope, our own distillery, sold over 100,000 bottles, also beers, not only spirits, and I hope getting interest from smart industry investor. And last but not least, this is the team, me and Bartek, who is somewhere here supporting. We are the main initiators of this idea. We already run all together as entrepreneurs 4 companies since 2012, and we are still all together. And also there is Agnieszka, who made the second edition of Okowita from Bread already real, because she contacted 50 bakeries, and now we are ready for the second edition from vodka, crafted vodka from bread. Also, I want to say thanks to our partners, which are here, marketing, branding, and also the master of distillery, which is Grzegorz from Gorzelnia Długie, who made all of the process real. And the last word will be, let's taste today the alcohol of tomorrow. Thank you.
Woo-hoo. Thank you very much, ReBread. Do you have any questions from the audience?
Okay, Michał.
Michał will ask a lot of questions. That's just the way he is, which is obviously positive.
Hi everyone, this is Michał. I have a question on your pricing in comparison to other brands. And the second one would be, what's your idea on the distribution of this product? Thank you.
Okay. So the first answer is it will be 150 złotych. This is the price. So it's premium one. And the second answer is we have our own restaurant, 4 points of our restaurant in Krakow. We also have our bakery and some distribution lines, so the places that we distribute our products, like bread, for example. And also we are talking with big retailers, and we want to make our product be really visible in some big retail stores. So this is one of the ideas. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Hey.
Hey. I have the question concerning your product, because do you know the side effects of this vodka after 1 day, so the hangover effects, in comparison to the traditional vodka? Are they different or the same?
Okay. I'm smiling because, we had this vodka since last week. And to be honest, of course, we taste it. But this is Okowita, so the crafted vodka, where you more... I can say that it's not a traditional, normal way of drinking vodka. So you need to know that maybe 2 or 3 little glasses will be okay. But I don't know if it would be a hangover from that. Not yet. So maybe after today, we'll know.
So I highly encourage you guys to try and see how the hangover is.
Okay, one more question.
Hi, I have a question in regards to the beer. What is the secret behind that product, and how are you planning to manufacture it?
We are now looking for some manufacturer, so maybe more like producer for the crafted beer. We are looking in Krakow, but also I hope that there will be some interesting producers all over the Poland. So we are now not producing beer yet, but this is like the second idea for ReBread, yes, so this would be the second one. And also I hope after the delicious this crafted vodka and the taste that the beer will be the same, so it will be a top one. And we will save 3 loaves of bread in this one bottle. So, I wouldn't say that. I haven't said that, but this is very important that when you drink this bottle, you save 3 loaves of bread. So this is something really meaningful.
Great. Thanks very much, Kasia and Bartek, for this great presentation. Round of applause for ReBread again. And I want to remind you that these guys did come from the idea that was there in the beginning of May, end of April, and they delivered, they produced their own product. So this is really astonishing. Just like the thing that another startup did. So can I invite Eric from Legumi? Give him a round of applause just to encourage them, please.
You can. Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Eric Gąszczyk. I am CEO of a small software house located in Warsaw. We are on the market for 2 years, now almost 25 people on the deck. And why I'm talking about software house, Spinbits, whereas here you see Legumi. Because Spinbits is a backbone to our new product, Legumi. So let me start with the question about Legumi, so you understand it better. Who's from people here like to do groceries every day? Going to the shop and doing that. Well, yeah, okay, we have a brave man there, one. I thought so, it's really painful process, especially when you have small kids, you do it every day. We all knew, right now, we have e-groceries. We can go to the internet and make a shopping, or a classic way of doing groceries. Imagine that you're doing it in a classic way. You go to the shop, you stand next to the fridge, and you're trying to pick up correct milk for you. There are 7 brands there. You need to compare prices. You need to compare what's in the milk. It's 2021, so whoever knows what's in it. And you need to repeat the process for everything you want to buy to be really particular. Imagine now that you have application that does it for you. So you create, so we call it smart basket really quickly. Like it takes a minute to do a shopping basket. And the application will compare all the products in different shops in your area. And in the end, you can make an order in one of them. That's Legumi. That's a shopping in 1 minute in multiple shops. So about the problems. There are too many shops to order from right now, and the numbers are increasing, more players on the market. Also, that's a thing that making groceries can be more convenient as it is right now. It takes time. Moving the orders between different shops takes time, and we solve that. Normal groceries are time consuming. Doesn't matter if it's groceries or normal groceries. In average, we spend 2 hours every week on groceries, which in the end, every month, we use 1 day for that, like a whole day spent on groceries that you don't like doing. The last thing is prices. So we check the prices on the market, and if you do it smart way, combining different products, changing them, you can save up to 20% on every basket, which for average household in Poland means that every year they will go on a holidays, which is a big thing. Who is the customer? So everyone here is doing groceries. Who is doing groceries, if you can show me? Yeah. So every one of you can be our customer. Based on ESPON, on Eurostat, there's 1.7 million Polish people using e-commerce right now and doing shopping online. And it's increasing incredibly. What's the market? The market will grow up to 126 billion zlotys just only in Poland in the next few years. It means it will grow 12% per annum, which is huge, and the food is a really big part of that. You can ask, what's the competition for us? There's really no competition. There are applications that partially utilize the features that we have in Legumi. You can make a shopping list, you can sort them, but it's not one-stop application to make an order. So what are our revenue streams? We plan to launch the application for free. There will be some commercials, but not intrusive. It takes a few seconds to calculate the basket for the application, and then application will show the commercials. But the biggest thing are the things for producers, retailers, that you can promote your shops and your products. That's why we are seeking for cooperation. We plan to reach 1.5 million zlotys revenue at the end of the next year. So where we are and where we want to be in next 12 months. Until now, thanks to Spinbits, which I mentioned, we have working proof of concept and connected the application with 2 shops. We have infrastructure ready, matching algorithms, and design for the application. For the funding, we need to do more integrations with retail and big players, scale up quickly to get on the market, finish the app, and launch it. Right now, we are working on MVP of the product as a shopping list app to be launched in the next 3 months on the market to gain traction and customer pool. So once more, who we are. The team is over 50 years combined experience in IT and product management. We have marketing and design guys, we have development, senior developers and data scientists, and me as a product owner. We've been working previously in other companies, worked with corporate clients in Europe, United States, and Asia. And we've worked, for example, for NBA Junior, delivered platforms for them. So we really know our craft, and I think we are a good matchup to deliver the product. Thank you very much, and I'm looking for your questions.
All right, great. Thanks very much, Eric. Do we have any questions from the audience? And
Adam was the first.
Hello, I love the idea. But how you plan to collect all the data from the shops? I don't know, you can talk with Biedronka or Lidl to collect the data, but I also believe they have problems to having it up to date. But how about the small shops that doesn't have API and stuff like that to use daily?
Thank you. It's a viable question. We already discussed it with some other interesting people. First of all, we are here in a food tech not only to get money to launch the app quickly, but to get connections, to talk with big players, as you mentioned, Biedronka and so on, to try to communicate with them through APIs and so on. At the first idea of Legumi, we planned to launch it as both a grocery and classic grocery application. But it came to our mind what you have mentioned, that it's really hard to propose the product that's not available on the shop because there's not on the shelf, someone already bought it. That's why we scoped for only a grocery application. Right now we are scraping data, which is not perfect, but we are willing to talk with for other solutions, for example, with Frisco and so on.
Great, thanks for the answer, Eric. Do we have any other questions?
Okay, from the first row, then Michał, I'll pose to you.
Hi, I have a question. Is the order placed inside the app and you send it to the shop, or like how does it work? And my second question, how you compare your app to, for example, Listonic, which is also grocery list?
Yeah, another valid question, thank you. Answering your first part of the question. In a perfect world, we will be able to move the order to the end shop by API and so on. There are some shops that allow to move and process the order without logging in. Some of the shops require you to log in and then you can make an order. So it's a balance, you know. If we are going to agree for a cooperation, that's a sure thing. We are going to automatically move the order to the end shop. Another part of your question, if you can repeat.
Yeah, how you compare your app to, for example, Listonic?
Yeah, so that's what I mentioned. Listonic utilizes only partial features of the app. So you cannot create an order like shopping list in the Listonic and then proceed it, compare with other shops, and then order it. Of course, this MVP application that we want to launch in the next 3 months will be, let's say, we want to take a part of the market for Listonic.
Okay, so getting back to Biedronka, at this moment you're not able to cooperate with them because they don't do a grocery, right?
Yeah.
So it's just for the...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true, but just to mention, players like Żabka and so on are going big for groceries. So I expect that everyone will be a grocery soon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I believe Michał, as usual, wants to ask one.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I think I don't need a microphone. How would you... phone online, okay. So how would you envision running this startup if you have 25 people on board in your software house?
Oh, well, I not only own software house, but only other businesses, and it's working well. I think it's a matter of organization and people you trust. I'm standing here alone, but just for you to understand, I'm not alone in the process. There are people behind me in the software house who are managers and senior developers that are helping me. So I'm a face of the project, and I'm leading the vision. But the hands and the brains, there are more people there.
I think what Michał wanted to ask if, are you willing to drop all the other stuff?
Oh, okay.
If this goes big.
I think there's always a place to talk, let's say.
Great, thank you.
But I really like the idea to have a software house as a backbone of the project. It's really important to combine tech knowledge and selling stuff.
So when a big retailer comes to you and says, I want your software house to do a project, you will agree or you will focus on Legumi?
So just for the internet guys, Michał was asking if when the big retailer comes to him, is he willing to do a software just for them? Will he drop the project or not?
Oh, I need to just unveil a little bit of my private business stuff. So I'm trying to organize our software house the way that it's self-efficient right now, and trying to move out from doing the projects to more doing the products as Legumi. So a valid question again. I'm seeing the idea of the question, and I agree it's really important to have the visionary, let's say, on the deck. So agreed.
All right, thanks very much for the question, guys. Again, round of applause for Eric. And I know in this batch we went a little bit into the alcohol part, but we'd like to show you that there are a lot of areas within foodtech that we can work on, and we just couldn't pass on neither of those guys. And I know it doesn't seem like they're doing something sustainable, but trust me, they are. And without any further ado, Paul Amy, so the booze robot, come on. Let's give it up for them.
Hi, my name is David and we are Polemi. I am bar owner from Wrocław. Every week, hundreds of people come to my place, which obviously makes me proud and happy. But at the same time, I'm aware that not everyone will be served efficiently. It may be one of you waiting 15 minutes for your gin and tonic, or it could be even worse because you may not get drink at all because of waiting time. And that's a huge problem because you don't have nice time and I'm losing money.
What's the solution? A cocktail making machine. Here is the prototype we made. It can serve 5 times more cocktails than a single person at the same time. You approach the machine, you press the cocktail, you wave your card, and observe. The machine does what bartenders do. Takes a cup, puts some ice inside, gin, tonic, hands you over the cup, and you're right back with your friends. You earn back your time, David earns money.
Not just me, other bar owners, sports events, music festivals, hotels and cruise ships, there are millions of businesses losing money every day.
That's why our vision is huge. Where do we want our machine to be? Everywhere. Berlin, London, Shanghai, you name it. You might think that our vision is bold. Of course it is, but the numbers speak for themselves. 5 barmans for the price of 1. So, is there a market for that, you might ask? Well, if we tackle just 1% of Poland, we get 3 million euro annually, so answer the question yourself. How are we going to sell it? Well, we offer a service, robot as a service. For example, in Poland, for the salary of just 1 bartender, or if you're not convinced enough, 20% commission, you get a machine that can make 5 times more drink than the human at the same time, works 24/7, doesn't have a sick leave, no bad mood, and you don't have to pay social insurance obligations.
Yeah, that's how machines are. They simply work, no questions asked. And there are some out there on the market. You might want to use the small one, suitable for your birthday or wedding, or you can find the big and fancy one in Las Vegas. That one costs a lot. Would you want to use them in your bar, David?
Actually, not really, they're just toys.
Exactly. Our isn't. It does what bartenders do. That's why they are our only true competition. And yet, we do not want to compete with the bartenders. We are the working mule. We want to unload them from the simple repetitive tasks they make every day. And guess what? These tasks make 80% of the revenue at a bar.
How we know it? Well, we checked it. A year ago, we only had a PowerPoint presentation. I was walking from one bar owner to another, and they had exactly the same problem as David. They were losing money. They liked the idea, though, but they didn't believe that people will buy from a machine. So, we built a prototype and organized pilot event. And you know what? People loved it. So, we tested our machine in more places and even gained first income. So, what are we going to do next? We're going to build more machines, put them in even more places, prepare for serious production, and by 2025, we want to have 500 machines operating in the clubs globally. Do you remember Berlin, London, and Shanghai?
And we are ready to do that. We have a complete and capable team to produce and sell this product. And the time is now.
We are doing it, and with your help, we will do it faster. And time is essential here because whole market is rebuilding after COVID, and people like me are open for new solutions.
That's why we need 250,000 euro to build 10 machines to secure market position to become the leader. We also want to prepare for EU expansion. So, if you want to invest in us, or you are like our project, our machine is over there, so let's have a drink.
Yeah, let's have one.
All right, thanks very much, Paul Amy. Do we have any questions from the audience? Apart from you, how? Maybe Marcin.
Just a second.
A second.
Hi, my name is Martin, and I have a question. I really like the idea. Actually, I would be probably a frequent user based on what I like to do in my free time. I used to be a bartender, and you haven't mentioned a really important topic. One of them, I believe at least, is that sometimes bartenders just steal. I mean, the alcohol or the money or whatever, so the machine wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I just leave it because that's also like an important topic. But my question is a different one. I mean, how do you want to handle any kind of a complaint? Or like, person got a drink and it clicked gin tonic and it gets like whiskey tonic, whatever.
Yeah, so thank you for your notice, because this is what you said. Actually, we've spoken with dozens of bar owners, and which terrifies me, every single one raises what you have roasted. So exactly, machine doesn't steal, and it also counts, you know, all the stocks. So even machine can in future order more stocks if they are, you know, ending. But back to your question about complaints. So we are developing this machine along with other bar owners. So complaints would be realized in let's say many different areas. So first of all, machine is connected with a bar. So if anything, you know, ends or is near to end, both bar and managers are notified. Machine, you know, is connected to the cloud, so every type of notification. If it's about complaints from a client, we also plan to do mobile app. So it's simple, you know, when you have your Uber ride, you just, you know, click your ride, cash is taken from your card. We plan exactly to do the same. And if something's wrong, you just fill out a complaint in an app. We plan to do the same. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. And I really hope that in a couple of months I'm going to go to Zagryvki or Luna Park and we'll drink a decent drink with your machine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, you could do it on Friday, because in Wrocław you could go to Hotspot. It's a beach bar, and yeah, we're happy to see you there.
The guys, I'm from Wrocław, but I really hope they will expand to Warsaw soon as well. Who else? Mia. Yeah. The customer base is here.
Hi guys, great presentation by the way, and a great name as well. I was wondering if you cracked age verification for this machine. So how do you verify age?
Of course we did. This is our prototype, and because we want to focus on the first thing first. So the age verification is already solved by plenty different subjects. I will tell you about it in a second. But first clubs that machine will be operating will have a bodyguard on the entrance, right? There are plenty of customers that doesn't allow any non-adults inside. So our first customer base are huge clubs that have age verification at the entrance. But later on, we plan to do age verification, and there are several ways to do it. I already spoken with Manica Państwowa, who has ID verification. They have API. Also, Krajowa Izba Rozliczeniowa prepares Moje ID. And we have a startup from Wrocław, which is you can pay by eye. And they also do know your customer verification in front. So we know that person who is, you know, paying by eye is already an adult. Of course, we also are investigating AI solutions and having an ID like Revolut do. So there are know your customer as a service solutions.
Thank you very much for that answer, Kamil. I believe we have a question at the back.
One more from the back.
Hi, I love your products, by the way. I had a question that if you wanted to leave your machines in public places, for example, where there was no security, how would you secure your products? Because obviously carrying, you know, hundreds of liters of high-value alcohols is like a good target for thieves or drunkards who want some alcohol.
Yeah, thank you for the question. You are talking about the vandal-proof design, and yeah, that's it. We have experience from the industry world that can allow us to produce a product that is, I don't know, baseball bat proof, or we can secure it by using the hardware means.
All right, great. Thanks very much, guys. I believe we are running out of time, so Marcin, you're going to have to ask your question in person, and please do. Once we're done with this part, you're more than welcome to go to the exhibition part and ask the guys about their machine. Moreover, you will be, I think, available. The machine will be available for cocktails?
Hope so.
I hope they will. All right, thanks very much again, Paul Amy. Thank you. All right, and last but not least, the guys who, in my personal opinion, have created the most delicious meat alternative when it comes to minced beef. The funny name in Polish, I don't know if there are any English-speaking guys out there, because Nielone means like minced, which is not minced. So for me, it's quite funny. I hope you find it funny and educative. Round of applause for guys from Nielone.
Hi.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Martyna.
And I am Andy. And we are co-founders of Nielone, plant-based minced meat made from pig protein that behaves, looks, and tastes like real meat. Despite the fact that we are young, we have a ton of experience in gastronomy. Martyna was working as a pastry chef, making delicious cakes on all kinds of events, and I was working at my parents' ice cream parlor. And now we are chefs in our own restaurant in Poznań, and we specialized in plant-based dishes. From our experience, we know that our customers are looking for good quality, consistency, and contrast.
Observing our customers, we see there are more and more food-conscious people who are reducing the amount of meat they eat. And here comes the question, what to eat? The question might concern some of you here. Combining that quality, consistency, and contrast, together with planet friendliness and taste, we come with our product as an answer to this question. About the people now. Almost 50% of Poles are flexitarians, which means flexi is sexy right now. But why? It's mostly because of health issues, while these days meat contains way too much of antibiotics. It's also because of environmental issues and for animal welfare.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now you may ask yourself, what is so special in Nielone?
It's really unique because it's enriched with necessary vitamins and it contains all amino acids that you need.
So, it is just like meat.
It's even more efficient than meat because it almost doesn't reduce. It reduces only about 6%, while real meat reduces even from 20 to 30%. Nielone doesn't evaporate, so when you put it on your pan, in your ready-to-eat meal, you'll have almost the same amount of Nielone as at the beginning. And it's really easy to use. Us, personally, when we cook with Nielone, we love preparing spaghetti bolognese, meatballs with tomato sauce, and lasagna. We believe there is a place for Nielone in this highly competitive market.
The plant-based meat replacement market is really big and is growing each year. The Polish market will grow from 2018 to 2022 seven times more than the global market. And our next steps are to improve the current recipe from soy to pig protein, extend the shelf life from 10 to 30 days that will lengthen our distribution channels even through Europe, and introduce new products, ready-to-eat meals made with Nielone and new kinds of plant-based meat replacements. Till now, we achieved to make the Mark I and launch it to the market, and we got really good reviews. Now, we're ready to build production facility, grow in sales, and go international.
With your help, we will be able to make it faster. We hope that in few years, Polish grandmas will say, it's Nielone and leave potatoes, like it's in a Polish saying, Nielone zjedz, a ziemniaczki zostaw. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Good job. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, Michał.
Of course.
Next time we're inviting only him.
Hi guys, I was wondering about, because as you said, in this highly competitive market, the taste is one of the most important things, and I assume that it's where you actually shine. And the second one would be availability and convenience, and the third will be price. So I was wondering again, as in the first company, what's your price? What's your pricing? And the second one, how would you envision to distribute this product?
Okay, thank you for your question. About the price, on the shelf you have the price between 15.90 to 16.50, and the packaging is about 30 grams. We have also 300 grams and 500 grams. And now we are selling through small stores with eco and planet-friendly food, with vegan food, basically, through Poland. And we like to introduce now 2 products. Now we have on soy, then we have we'll launch with pea protein, and we have two different prices. And now it's compared to high quality beef meat. But in the future, when we scale up, we want to decrease the price, make it lower, basically. It's all that you ask, or there was something more?
No. I'm just wondering if you have the strategy for it. So it's about 33 zlotys per kilogram, right? If I
right now 45, 55.
45, 55
Yes.
per kilogram of
Yes.
this product instead of like 16 for meat, or even less.
Yeah, but the 16 per meat is, I think, it's questionable quality. When you want to buy really good beef or pork from a local farmer, where you know the source, I think it's a little bit higher. And the taste that you ask is very important for us, of course.
Sure, thanks.
I'd like to add that the price that Andy mentioned is one of the prices in the middle on the market, but we want to have a product that will have the highest quality with that middle price.
Hope that answered your questions, Michał. What about other ones? I believe I see a hand over there. A lot of hands. Right.
Hello. What I just hear from your pitch is just it's idea for a niche product. What's do you have the idea how to grow to be big to be mass productive product, and how big do you want to be?
We'd like to be very big, so it's a really good idea, a really good question, thank you. Now we've got some ideas for another products like Andy said before, so the first steps are to introduce products based on Nielone, and we've got plenty of ideas, really, many of them. We will have to choose which ones to start with, and sorry, what was another part of your question?
So like, so how,
Okay, I understand. Thank you. So, as I said, we want to have a product with really high quality, and we need it to be enriched with important vitamins, and it's really unique on the market right now, because in Poland you don't have products that contain all the vitamins that you might need. So mostly our customers will be flexitarians. They are not looking for all those vitamins all the time, but to be unique on the market for those people who are really looking into the labels, and for vegetarians and vegans, it's really important to have a balanced diet and all nutritions in their meals.
All right, thanks very much. I believe we have time for one last question.
Yeah, I have 3 questions, but the answer as quickly as possible. So first of all, how would you compare, do you have any comparative advantages with the competition, like Beyond Meat or Impossible and whatever competition is there on the market? Secondly, in terms of scaling up your business, how low do you think it's possible to decrease the price? And is there at any point a possibility to actually compete with cheap minced beef, for example? And third question is, what is the reason for you to change from the soybean to pea proteins?
Okay, the first question was, sorry.
Competition towards Beyond Burger and other players.
Okay, so the other players that going to the market, we can say they're quite similar, but we will achieve, and we want to achieve a few things that it looks like beef, minced meat, that it behaves like minced meat, that you can make your own burger and use it in at home or at professional restaurants, and that it will harden when you cook. So we achieved now. We are very proud of our product that have all the three important things to us, and what
I'd like to add that each of those products that are on the market right now are different, and each of them has different characteristics from others, and customers are looking for those different tastes, those different textures. So the market is something right now, but it will be bigger, and there will be place there for us. I'd like to answer your third question about changing soy to pea protein. So us personally, we really love soy, but we know that there are people who are allergic to soy, who are reducing amount of soy they eat, and that's why we want to improve our current recipe to pea protein.
And there was a second question.
Do you plan to lower the price?
Yes, of course, but with scale, only with scale.
Is it possible to get closer to the current?
Yes, it can get closer. We believe that it can go even in half, but it really have to be a more scalable process.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Great presentation. Thanks for the questions.
We forgot, especially for you, on our website, only for you is a 30% discount for Nielone, and you can order it. But we have prepared foods with Nielone that you can try later.
And you guys were afraid they wouldn't build scale. I mean, they're already selling. Come on. Thanks very much, guys. All right. I hope it was fun. Piotr, coming up. Coming. Okay, great. So you could see, for example, Nielone, all of these guys did an amazing job throughout the last 2.5 months. So first and foremost, I would like to thank them for being with us in the process, for taking the knowledge from our mentors. Sometimes they're a bit reluctant, but it's nice that we attract, that me and Piotr, we attract a crowd of founders who are not, who've done their businesses before, know part of the marketing, sales, legal stuff, and so on and so forth. So it's on one hand easier to work with them because they know a lot of the stuff. On the other, it's harder to work with them because they say, okay guys, we know this, come on, give us more. So it's more challenging for us, and we do grow with every batch and with every startup it comes. So thank you guys for being here with us and making this batch, I think, the best batch we've done so far. So round of applause for the startups, please. And I would like to thank our mentors. Some of them are here, some of them are not. And they did the job. I mean, we and Piotr were just the facilitators. We put people together and we see what comes up. But the mentors did the best jobs. So again, round of applause for the mentors here with us today and online. And last but not least, I would like to thank Gosia, who's the batch manager. She's right over there. She's waving. You know, she did all the.
That was the first time we didn't have to run batch just by ourselves. So finally, someone on board of foodtechAC, someone to help us every day with all the challenges, especially with that bit difficulties of organizing acceleration program during pandemics. And also, this edition we had startup from Wrocław, from Poznań, from Kraków, from Warsaw, so it was all around Poland. We are ready for the next step for international startups as well.
Surprisingly enough, the Warsaw startups showed up the least often. So.
Yeah, but he was working hard at the product at that time with developers. So yes, what's more to come? Today, of course, you can try a lot of products from this batch, from the previous batches. So we strongly encourage you to try it all. What's going to happen with foodtechAC, except fundraising for the fund and organizing all the paperwork with the fund? We'll be, of course, continuing fundraising for the projects until we have our fund. And autumn is coming pretty short. Again, that there will be another batch. We are thinking strongly, and we still don't have an answer, that we would like to run a batch for more advanced startups, because more and more advanced startups come to us who are looking mostly for, their main goals are investors and distribution. And maybe this autumn we won't do a batch for early stage startups, but we'll do a batch for more advanced startups. We will see. We're still in the debate, in the discussion. Now we need to take a bit of holidays and paperwork holidays, of course.
Yeah, this was, just to give an insight, this was a pretty intense time for us. My second kid was born, so I was not there as much as I would like to be. So a lot of heavy duty fell on Gosia, and especially on Piotr, who was not only, co-running the batch, but also negotiating the investment deals with for the startups. So I think the biggest round of applause goes to Piotr over here.
Yeah, so of course, a huge applause for the Misha for constantly being able to find the balance between spending the time with his kids and his wife and helping the startups. He's the one sleeping the least currently. So yesterday we had a talk because I told him, I will be sleeping 3 hours. He said, I want to sleep 3 hours, but I don't know if I won't be woken up in an hour by Lila, his daughter. So it's also a huge applause for Michał.
Thank you.
Misha.
Okay, enough of the sugar.
One more news, one more thing. This demo day will be published online, so for any of your friends who missed it, who couldn't participate that time online or here physically, please spread the news about that today's demo day. Encourage your friends to see what's happening in the industry, both the regular consumers, also people from the food industry, investors, whoever you know. Let's spread the news, help us to build that community to grow. That's the family we are building here. It's not only business, but for us it's a huge family. So let's now pick some family time.
Yes, and right now I'm really happy because we waited a really long time for an in-person event. So let's eat, let's drink, and do come to us, approach us, and let's have a chat finally in person. Again, thank you for being with us here today, and
thank you very much.